in the right elements, in peaceful surroundings, where time is just another dimension. There is a more convenient way. Home Shopping Club. For those who want exceptional values and real bargains, one call gets it all. Top quality merchandise, low prices, convenient delivery to your door. Tune in Home Shopping Club now, where every buy's a bargain.
We are Suburban Cablevision TV3, providing you with the finest in local sports coverage and live talk shows. Monday nights at 7:30, catch The Roundtable, a live phone-in sports talk show hosted by the TV3 sports staff. And every Thursday and Saturday night at 6:30, watch Ion Sports with your host, Matt Loughlin. Whatever the sport, whatever the season, TV3 Sports is always there.
Back at Mizell Field, I'm Matt Loughlin. We are at halftime, and the Brearley Bears leading over the Dayton Bulldogs by a score of 22-7 in this Mountain Valley Conference matchup. On the field, the combined bands of the two high schools, both Brearley and Dayton, performing for us. So let's give a look and a listen.
I thought I was planning on being over about 9:30. At halftime, our score 22-7 in favor of the visiting Brearley Bears. We'll be back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Deputy Chief Lou Nazaro.
Hi, my name's John Gorman. I'm the Assistant Treasurer for the Football Giants.
Hi, I'm Al Alaria, attorney in the offices of Alaria Associates.
Hello, my name is Mike Corcoran, Sales Manager of Campco Building Supply.
Hi, I'm Dick Mataranti, Supervisor of Health and Physical Education, Walk Hill Valley Regional High School.
What do these five gentlemen have in common?
Each Saturday during the fall, we get together and take in a high school football game. If you'd like to join us, contact our membership chairman, 3 Henning Drive, Fairfield, New Jersey, 07006. It's a great way to see all the action and set examples of character and sportsmanship for our high school students. Become a part of officiating excellence.
The preceding message was brought to you by the New Jersey Football Officials Association and Suburban Cablevision.
The Bears getting ready for the second half. They lead by 15, Al Reynoso, but it was Dayton which got on the board first as Andy Huber scored from 2 yards out.
Let's watch how Huber just slides and keeps his feet. Now here's where he's going to spin, cross the goal line on his back, but that was a big touchdown for Dayton early, and it looked like they were going to really stay on top the way they were moving. Now here we see Dayton on a touchdown. He sprints out. Now watch how he cuts inside. Right here he makes a right-handed cut, goes inside for a 15-yarder. That tied it up.
They went for 2. Actually, they took the 1-point lead, 8-7. And here's Battle for a 5-yard touchdown
goes outside. Now watch him want that goal line. He has a man on his back and somebody hanging on his ankle, and he just kept his balance and fell in.
That made the score 22-7 with the extra point by Scuderi. Here may be the key play of the half.
Here's Dayton. Watch his right ankle right there. I'm sorry, his left ankle. All the weight goes down on it. It twists up, and he ended up the half limping badly. And we haven't seen him on the sideline yet. There he is. And let's see how he reacts, because it's going to be important for him to stay in the ball game.
Dayton with 36 yards rushing. He is backed up by John Changeo.
John, the son of Bill Changeo, who, as I said before, a former Union player and a big force in the midget program
Pop
for
Warner,
years.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Kenilworth Jets. The captains coming out for both teams at the start of the second half.
So he looks like he's not favoring it too much.
No, it looks like he seems to be okay. I imagine we will see him start, and it will be Brearley that will get the ball to start the second half on the kickoff. Here's a look at halftime statistics, and Dayton limited to just 11 yards rushing, or 11 yards total in the second quarter, and no first down. So the defense came alive for the Bears in that second quarter, and they picked up the pace offensively.
Total yards 114 to 176 for Brearley. You know, we talked about how this week schools were closed Thursday and Friday for the teachers' convention, and some of these players had an opportunity to stay on the field a little longer and work on some of the things that we see here tonight.
Bob Taylor, I mentioned earlier, I said 18th year. It's actually his 17th year as head coach of the Brearley Bears. And one of the keys to success at Brearley is the fact that this is a staff that's been together a long time. Vinny Albano, Mike Londino, and Carl Peterson, 3 of his assistants. That's Mike Londino with his hands in his pockets there. That's Bill Changeo with the white Brearley jacket on. But Londino, Albano, and Peterson have been with Bobby for the entire 17 years. Steve Washuta is the youngster of the staff. He's been with the program for 8 years. So consistency is an important part of this program, and these coaches have stayed involved with the program since Bob Taylor has come on. 3 of them have been with him for 17 years.
And tremendous community support in Kenilworth.
Oh, yeah.
For that Brearley program. Tremendous community support.
And in Garwood. Onside kick try by the Bulldogs. It's recovered by the Bears, and they'll have excellent field position at the 45-yard line. They scored on their 3 drives. They had the ball at their 35, drove 8 plays for a touchdown. From their 19, they went 9 plays for a touchdown. And from the 43, 8 plays for the touchdown.
Let's see if Dayton has changed up their defense to shore up the left side of the line on that counter option.
Dayton starts the second half at quarterback. He is limping, however, as he hands the ball off to Mike Battle, who gets across midfield. He is limping, and it would not be surprising to see him stay in for just a little bit, perhaps until they are able, or if they are able, to score another touchdown. You notice that Dayton has no name on the back of his jersey, and all the other Bears do. He had been issued number 13 earlier, and I guess in the change over to 2, they just haven't had the chance to get Dayton's name on the back. Ball's at the 46-yard line. He's going to try a pass. Deep downfield, incomplete. Huber on the coverage. And the intended receiver was Tim Kaufman. And Kaufman's spending some time getting some turf out of his face mask.
Right on the fingertips. Great job. Look at that. Boy, maybe 1 foot. Great stretch by Kaufman to get that pass.
You know, in our open, Al, we talked about changes that had occurred in this Dayton defense. Since that was the first pass, there was no need to talk about the secondary changes because they had not been tested at all. That was the first pass try. As the first down is picked up by Mike Battle, but there have been a number of changes. Rich Roach tonight is playing his first game at the rover back spot. He had been starting at cornerback, but he's a big hitter, and John LeDunn wanted to get him closer to the action. Trivet moves from rover to the safety spot. They had anticipated using him a little bit more running. He has not seen a lot of action in the backfield, but they wanted to prevent him from being banged up. Andy Huber, first game back at a starter at one cornerback spot. And so there have been a number of changes. 3 new players in that defensive backfield.
Well, the changes, as you said, Matt, Brearley has not thrown the ball too much, so consequently we haven't been able to see how the changes have affected their pass coverage. And really, Brearley hasn't had to throw the ball. They've been running the ball very effectively.
Second down and about 8. Short pickup on the play. Maselli on the carry. Maselli carried the ball 3 times for 16 yards in the first half. Now 5 different players carried the ball for Brearley. Battle 10 times for 51 yards. Dayon 6 for 36. King 4 for 34. Williams 2 for 39. And Maselli, as I said, 3 for 16.
Maselli carried the ball 2 times in a row on these first 2 downs. Now this is the first passing situation we've seen Brearley face.
They'll keep it on the ground. Battle tries to stiff arm past Perez. Is unable to do so. Perez and Trivet on the tackle. It's close to a first down.
Let's take a look right here. Right there. Battle was hemmed in, and he just kept his feet chomping up and down, knees chugging away, and he gets the ball outside, and they're going to make a measurement here.
Huh? I can't hear you.
The official whistled right into our ground level mic and blown several of the circuits up here. That was a loud whistle.
Including one in my right ear. Jim Beamish working tonight's game. His crew, George Angelo, Tom Rinaldi, Rick Mataranti, Jerry Hughes. Charles Bolser is the clock operator. And it is a first down for the Brearley Bears. 9:07 to play in the third quarter. The Bears are on top by a score of 22-7. And they are driving. They took the onside kick that Bulldogs tried. They were able to recover it, and they've been moving since. Ball at the 33-yard line. Maselli on the counter. And he gets inside the 25-yard line. Boy, he is quick, Al.
All those backs on that play, when they run that count, let's take a look at the kind of speed he has when he gets the ball. They're just hitting that hole. That hole opens up, and they hit the ball at full stride. They hit the handoff and the hole at full stride and take it up, and every one of those backs loves it when they are in the position to carry the ball on that counter option.
And we'll have another measurement. Bobby Taylor has basically utilized a 2-platoon system this year, and obviously offensively he's got a lot of players that he is utilizing, particularly at the running back spot. And what happens, he says, is that everybody feels they are participating and contributing to success. So practices are more spirited. And he said the whole team is just uplifted by the fact that so many people are being depended on. There's Vinny Albano behind Bobby, and now Bobby steps away.
There's Vinny, and that hat he wears is like 30 years old, Matt.
and I think Vinny got that when he was born. So Vinny's about 30, 31.
But that's a relic. That's you know, that.
And the kids love him. Vinny is tough on the outside and soft on the inside.
Well,
and the players just love Coach Albano. Second and short for the Bears. I formation look, and the pitch goes to James King, who leaps over one man, Neil Lynch, and then is tackled on the play by Mark Nadson.
That was a great job defensively by the Dayton defense. Lynch shut off the outside lane, turned him into the pursuit, and Nadson just brought it up. Made the stop over there.
Those two, a pair of juniors, as we look at John LeDunn. Battle. Nice job cutting it inside. A flag on the play thrown way behind the play. Battle close to a first down, but we'll have to check out the flag.
Let's take a look at Battle here. There's a shot. He just keeps his legs moving, cuts inside, changes the ball, and just powers into two backs and tramples one of them.
And right about where he made that cut, and then maybe a step after he took that or made that cut, it's when the flag was thrown. It was thrown way behind the play, and we'll get the call from Jim Beamish in just a moment. It is being marked off against Brearley, so scratch that first down.
Okay, we have a clip, number 21, offense, blocking from behind, still first down.
As you called it, Matt, well behind the play, probably an unnecessary contact, but you know, you get out there and you're playing, you have the opportunity to throw a block in front of the ball carrier, behind the ball carrier. These young kids just kind of lose it for a second and throw that block.
Ball is given to King, and King stopped for a gain of about a yard. It's second down and long.
Dayton a little more fired up defensively, Matt. I think they really increased the tempo defensively and are defending a little bit better than they had in at least the second quarter. Second quarter was all Brearley, but Brearley will come back with that counter option and try to open up that big hole on the left side of the Dayton defense.
Dan Rusinello has come into the game replacing Corbo. Once again, it is King who gets the call, and King is outside. And he is close to a first down near the 10-yard line.
They ran the counter option to the other side, and King got the ball on full stride. Let's take a look. They fake to the right, come back and look at the hole. Now watch him read and bounce outside on a spin. Now he sees a lot of wide open area. He changes the ball. Probably should have stayed outside here. Probably should have gone to the corner outside. Great job running the ball, big yardage.
First down for King, who now has 60 yards, averaging 8.6 yards per carry. Coming into the game, he was averaging 7.4. The ball is at the 12-yard line, and it is Battle. Battle cannot get out of the grasp of Andy Huber, but he brings the ball down to the 5-yard line. You know, getting back for a moment to King, he's an interesting story. One of the benefits, Al, of the Union County Regional School System is that depending on your needs or desires academically, you can go to any of the 4 schools. They each have specialties that you can pursue. If you live in one of the communities, you don't have to go to the school that serves that community. And in King's case, he goes to Governor Livingston for a better, what in his case, what he feels is they serve his needs better, a better educational opportunity. But you're allowed to play for the school that represents your community. So he goes to one of the sister schools, but he plays here at Brearley.
Is the rule that he can play?
Ball comes free, and who's got it? It goes over to the Bulldogs.
Well, there's a disadvantage for fighting for extra yardage. When you do, often your elbows are swinging and the ball can come loose, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Let's take a look. Here he comes wide. And right here, he's fighting for yardage, chopping his feet. The ball is loose. Look at the way it's loose. Comes out of his hand, and right at the cone for the goal line, Dayton recovers.
And the drive is stopped on the turnover, but the Bulldogs have a long way to go as the ball is at the 1-yard line. Second turnover of the ball game for Brearley. Bazidlo keeps it himself and gets out to about the 3.
We're talking about that rule in the Union County system, Matt. Does he have the option of playing for the school that he goes to or the town?
Yes, as
So
I
in other words,
understand it.
He had the choice of either playing for Brearley or playing for Governor Livingston.
That's correct. And again, it's good because the communities that are serviced by the school benefit by the broader offering of academic curriculum. And King's taking advantage. I'm really not sure what the why he's up at GL. Could be any of a variety of reasons, but the fact is that's where he's at. He goes to school there and he comes back and plays for Brearley.
Let's take a look at Dayton on this sweep to the left. Student body to the left. A lot of blocking out front and a great job defensively crashing through along the pursuit. Probably the first man to get his hand out there is Chris Layden, the linebacker, and he got over there, put a lot of pressure in the pursuit, and here's 3rd and short.
Ball at the 10-yard line. Busted play, and the Bulldogs will have to punt. Jose Rodriguez was right there. Bazidlo turned around and said, hey, where did everybody go? And John LeDunn is asking the same question. Hey, where did everybody go?
Take a look. Looks like Perez came too wide on the dive, number 14. You see him, he came very wide. And looked like he was diving for the off-tackle hole as opposed to coming inside the guard tackle hole. And consequently, the play broke down, and we see a 4th down situation in the end zone. Left foot.
Left foot on the punt, right foot on the placements is Steve Presmirski.
Now's the time for him to get a good one off.
Fair catch signaled for. Ken Williams signaling for the fair catch at the 43-yard line, and the Bears have their best field position of the evening. Ion Sports comes your way Thursday evening at 6:30 on TV3, each and every Thursday, and each and every Saturday at 6:30. Ion Sports, as we talk with personalities from the world of sports.
Brearley has not had a problem with field position. They've scored or moved the ball every time they've gotten the ball, regardless of the field position.
And it is battled down to about the 35, and then a scramble on for the ball, and it goes over to the Bulldogs. So 2nd successive turnover. Mike Cervello, the senior end, comes up with the loose ball. Number 76, watch him, folks. All of a sudden, he came out of the pile with the ball.
There's Battle fighting for yardage. Now, there's the ball loose. And right there, you see the Bulldogs diving on the football. So Dayton comes up. Mike Cervello, the 6'1", 180-pound senior, up with the football, and Dayton gets another shot.
2nd strongest player on the team. Did not play last year, did play as a sophomore, however, comes up with the fumble. Bazidlo from the 30 moves it up across the 35-yard line. 2:43 and counting left to play in the 3rd quarter. 22-7, Brearley on top.
Good call. Faking to Perez on 1st down and coming outside. That option opened right up for them as we see a shot of the scoreboard over here at Mizell Field.
Off of Mizell Avenue in Springfield. Bazidlo has room, has the 1st down, and he has more as he crosses midfield. Scott DeBow finally tracks him down, but Bazidlo has the team on the move.
Look at the way the line goes for the fake to Perez on these options. I mean, it just opens up a collapse on the side where the dive fake occurs. And Bazidlo gets outside, getting good yardage.
47 yards for Bazidlo on 11 carries. The ball is at the 49-yard line.
Jeremy Bazidlo, the senior at 6', 175, running the offense now for the Dayton Bulldogs.
Perez stopped for a loss on the play. Rodriguez making the tackle. Mike Wright was also in there. Wright, the sophomore linebacker. Rodriguez, a junior defensive tackle. Loss of about a yard on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 11. We are under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
That was Dayton's first down since the 1st quarter that they got on that option. That time they gave it to Perez, and Brearley was waiting for him. That's what's making the option open up. They're waiting for Perez on the dive.
Pass complete to Patino. And Patino has the 1st down as he's down to the 36-yard line. Patino came into the game with 7 catches for 73 yards.
Great call. Watch the fake to Perez. The fake of the option opens up the look-in pass, and he just pulls it in and keeps his balance and gets that 1st down, the 2nd 1st down for Dayton in this drive. So they may be moving now.
A first-year player as a senior, Justin Patino. Bulldogs moving, trailing 22-7. 1 minute exactly remaining in the game, or in the 3rd quarter, excuse me, as Clayton Trivet is tripped up.
You know, Dayton is putting twins, wide twins, way out here, and Brearley is not giving them much respect at all. All they do is put one man out that wide and set up another defender in the walkaway. And obviously Dayton is doing it to loosen up the secondary, but Brearley is not loosening up the secondary. They're only putting one man out here and another man in the walkaway position and staying close to the line of scrimmage. Now there are 2 wideouts. That opens them up a little bit more.
Bazidlo keeping it again. Runs into the arms of Joe Corbo at the 30-yard line. He'll be short about 4 yards of a 1st down. And that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Well,
the timeout will stop that.
Well, it's an official's timeout for an equipment adjustment by Layden. 4 seconds left, but as soon as he's set, the clock will start. Looks like Layden and one other player also. Bowerzak, I think it is, yeah.
Dayton, very intelligent, gets up to the line of scrimmage. The clock starts.
I told you it was the last play of the 3rd quarter.
You're right.
22-7 our score after 3. We have 12 minutes ahead of us. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Assemblywoman Maureen Ogden. As a state legislator, I feel that communication is an important part of the job. On New Jersey and You, I discuss issues that are important to you with leaders in the fields of education, health, the environment, auto insurance, and others. The kind of information helps us to better understand the issues. Join me on New Jersey and You, Sundays at 7, here on TV3.
Defend the
12 minutes left in the ball game. We're about ready for the start of the 4th quarter. Matt Laughlin along with Al Reynoso. Mizell Field in Springfield, the site. Dayton Regional High School, located in Springfield, also serves the community of Mountainside. Brearley, located in Kenilworth, serves Kenilworth and Garwood.
At one
Sister
time,
schools, excuse me, in the regional school system for Union County.
At one time, all those towns went to Springfield Regional, Jonathan Dayton.
So there are some players on this Brearley team who had mothers and fathers who attended Springfield High School. Bazidlo inside the 20, run out by Dubois. But another first down, a very important drive for Dayton.
Look at that fake into the line, and Zidlow goes outside here. And I'll tell you, he was out of bounds when he got clocked. Well, no, that was a good play.
Here's a look at stats through 3 quarters. Big advantage still for Brearley. But Dayton was able to move that ball in the 3rd quarter after only gaining 11 yards in the 2nd, and they are moving here in the 4th. Still trailing, though, 22-7. Perez spins inside the 15-yard line. 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7.
Starting to see the breath of the players out there as the temperature drops a little more at night.
It's finally becoming cold after a very mild fall. Temperature has turned chilly the last couple of days.
There you see the adjustment that Brearley does to those twins. They put a walk away. Now you see him loosening up on that side.
Bazidlo looking to go to the air, looking for Huber. He's got him. Huber is out of bounds at the 1.
These coaches must be listening to us because, you know, as I picked up the way Brearley is not respecting those twins, they sprinted to that side and found the open man. See, that's the walkaway back who's trying to cover the deep out. And Dayton is right on the goal line.
Huber, who scored the first touchdown, comes off to the sideline. And the ball is at the 1-yard line.
Dayton, if they get into this end zone here, they're going to be in the ball game.
Down by 15. Perez, big hole, and he steps in. Third touchdown of the year for Joe Perez. And we have a ball game, Al.
You sure do, Matt. Now here's an interesting decision based on the score. They'll probably kick, bring it to 14. Wait for the next opportunity. Remember that Brearley has an injured quarterback. Dayton has not been able to really be as agile as he wants to be, and a timeout is called here.
First timeout of the second half called by Brearley. Well, let's go back to things for a moment. It does appear as if the Bulldogs are going to go for 2. And what they're setting up is they're going for the win, Al, at this point. What they're setting up is hoping they can score the 2, get the 15, hoping they can score again and go for 2 for a win. They're not thinking about a tie. An extra point would force them to score again and go for 2 in order to tie Brearley. So they're really thinking ahead. They feel they can score again and possibly win this ball game. So this could be a very important turn of events. Getting back to what you say, Dayton hurt himself late in the first half. He was able to stay on and score that 3rd touchdown. We haven't seen a lot of them because of fumbles. He was able to lead them on one little bit of a drive, but he's been a weapon running, but that ankle might prevent him from being a runner, so they may not have to respect him as a runner anymore.
Exactly, Matt. And the other thing about this decision, there we see him on the sideline, is that they have the ability to kick a field goal, does Dayton. So Dayton, in this decision, let's say they come up short, they can still line up and kick a field goal for 3 points. So that either way, I think they have the confidence that they have a shot, and this is a good decision to go for 2 here.
Well, I think what it also does is throws out the window that old conservative philosophy of coaches. John LeDun's team is 1-6. If they go 1-7, it's not a tragedy. However, if they can win it, it'll be a big lift for him. Bazidlo will be able to get in, and he does.
They came with the double wideouts. Both ends split, and a full house I formation in the backfield, and then they just rolled out, and he read the way the secondary was reacting, saw the open area, and ran in. He kind of slowed up on it once he scored, and that was dangerous. He'd have been better off just diving in and getting to the ground quick. Let's take a look at it right here.
He brings his team within 7.
Here's the first touchdown. Perez in a big hole on the left side of the line. That puts 6 on the board. Then they made the decision to go for 2, and they are in the ball game.
And I give credit to John LeDun as we take a look at the try for 2. He could have kicked the field goal and hoped he scored again and then made a decision whether he goes for the tie.
There's where he slowed down, and that should have been a dive down close to the ground.
Which, getting back to, he would have made the decision, I'm sure, if they were down by 8, score a touchdown, go for 2. But, you know, he risked something here. If they don't pick up the 2, then they've got to score twice, and there's 11:07 left, and you know, there would be some second guessing going on in the stands. But again, you see too often coaches who they're down 4-2 late in the game in, say, hockey, and they won't do something because they're afraid to lose 5-2. And a loss is a loss. Or a coach who's down big, they'll still be conservative in football because they don't want to lose by more. Give John LeDun credit. He's thinking of a win. He's thinking about this club coming away with its second victory of the season. Pooch kick, nobody there. Nobody there for Brearley. And the Bulldogs say they've got it, and they do.
What a turn of events, Matt. They're really fired up.
Little pooch kick, and nobody was there for the Brearley Bears. It was an empty area of the field.
Perfectly executed. They tried an onside kick in the opening kickoff of the second half, and the Brearley defenders very wisely fell on top of it, but that time they didn't roll it along the ground. They pooch kicked it up over the top of the front line and short of the deep backs and recovered, and here they are on offense.
Ryan Huber credited with recovering that kick, the younger brother of this man, Andy Huber, who skips to the outside and is brought down by Corbo inside the 30-yard line. A 6-yard pickup for Andy Huber.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Huber really ran with determination that time. You see one of the coaches saying, hey, you don't run east or west, you run north and south.
Good
job.
Second and 4, 10:48 to play in the ball game.
And I'll tell you, Dayton is fired up, Matt. There's Twins out there, and there's the adjustment. You can't see it. It's to the left of the screen.
Bazidlo stopped for a loss on the play. A lot of white jerseys came crashing through on that play. And Bazidlo loses about a yard. We'll call it second and 5. Len Ludak leading the charge.
Ludak playing outside there in that real tough position to play against these double wide out. Here are the Twins right here at the bottom of the screen. Now they're not that wide this time.
Krazmierski and Huber, the Twins. Incompleted pass. Fourth down play forthcoming.
What do you think? I'd go for it.
Oh, I don't think there's any question that John LeDun's team is going to go for it. Clayton Trivett comes in with the play. Huber comes out.
They've had good success running away from those Twins. They're setting out Twins to the right. Twins to the right side, I formation. Now they go to a slot with trips right. Trips right, 3 receivers.
Bazidlo flips one out, incomplete for Trivett, who had a step on the defenders. And on downs, the ball goes over to the Bears as their defense holds.
Trivett was open. Let's take a look. Just a little bit overthrown. Right here, Bazidlo sees him. He's got the time, and he just throws a little bit too far because he was wide open. Look at him. Just out of his fingertips. Great attempt to catch the ball, but Brearley gets the ball back.
Lots of time left in this contest. 10:01 to play. Dayton in at quarterback. He's been on that bench a long time. We'll see if the ankle has stiffened up. From the 30-yard line, it is Battle once again getting the call, and he's close to a first down.
Battle, watch how he goes outside here, follows the block right there, and just takes the ball up as far as he can and gets a first down, 10 yards on that first down carry.
Trivett making the stop, first down for the Bears. Almost 100 yards this evening for Mike Battle. He has scored a touchdown. It was a 5-yard run with 5:45 to play in the second quarter.
Maselli blocking on that play.
Maselli with the call. Runs into Rich Roach at the 45-yard line. Looks like a little water bug, boy. He just scoots through the hole.
Watch this. Here's the counter option. Just watch Maselli. See the way he steps one way, comes the other way, hits the hole at full stride, and that time, a great job defensively by the linebacker or the cornerback right there, Rich Roach. One of the men they moved in the secondary, he went to Rover, and that's a combination of a linebacker and a defensive halfback, that Rover back.
Second down at about 5. Maselli breaks a tackle, makes a nice cut inside, and Steve Maselli is to the 40-yard line of Dayton. First down for the Bears.
Let's watch Maselli again on this play. There he is. He bursts towards the line of scrimmage, takes the handoff. Now watch how this kid keeps his legs moving. Right there, he steps out of the grasp of a defender. Right here, he's going to cut inside of another grasp. Now he gets caught from behind, and he's still struggling for yardage.
Nadson tracked him down from behind. Maselli with 48 yards.
Now he gets a rest. We'll see one of the other Brearley backs carry the ball.
How about King? King to the 34. What a luxury it is to be able to bring in as many players as Bobby Taylor can into that backfield. You always have a fresh runner.
And that's exactly the psychology of it, Matt. The fellas that go out and get a rest, they can't wait to get back in. It's not like, you know, they go 20 yards and say, oh, I got to carry the ball again. No, get out and sit down. Somebody else will carry it.
Plus, they know they can't slack off because there's someone who will take their spot and take those few carries that they might get on a given series. Battle has a first down. Clock will stop as they move the chain. 7:51 to play. And now it's the defense that's got to rise to the occasion for Dayton.
And Brearley is just rolling now, and Dayton looks like they believe that they've taken their shot. 5 backs with 30-plus yardage.
As we said, 6 backs with over 100 yards coming into this ball game. The defense will have to rise to the occasion, give the offense one more opportunity, and a little over-exuberance displayed on the part of the Bulldogs. Jordan Pintado, a sophomore.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, still first.
Little over-aggressive, makes it 1st and 5. Ball to the 23-yard line.
I was talking about Dayton was reacting as though they felt they took their best shot with that pooch kick and then the offense, and now they're just back on their heels a little bit.
Quickly into the secondary is Mike Battle.
Brearley is just firing those backs up into the line, quick hitting into the secondary and getting great yardage. They're just chewing up the yardage on this drive, and this drive is a killer. Timeout.
Timeout called by the Bulldogs with 7:14 to play in the quarter. Ball is marked at the 9-yard line, we'll call it, so it's 1st and goal from that point. And you, Al, described this drive as a killer, and the reason it is a killer is that, first off, they're using up some time, but secondly, they are knocking on the goal line. If they score, they'll basically put this game out of reach.
Yeah, Matt, exactly my point when I use the word killer. It could just kill the spirit of Dayton. Dayton really had the momentum. They tried that pooch kick after the touchdown and successful 2-point conversion, as we see some of the crowd on the far sideline over there, the Brearley side. And then when they got possession of the ball, they moved it well, and then they just kind of bogged down. And when they turned the ball over, Brearley just roared back at them and ran up the yardage. Look at the rushing yardage here. Brearley has 300 yards to Dayton's 124 yards.
Brearley came into the game with 1,544 yards as a team.
You know, that Dayton squad, they really You talked about it in their early double sessions. They lost a player. They moved players around. They had to move their defense all around for this ball game. So they've really shuffled their players a lot.
Battle again down to about the 6-yard line.
He takes it down to about the 6-yard line.
Dayton seems to have made an adjustment in a goal line situation to shut down the inside quick openers, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Brearley come outside now with the option. Although they're limited because of the immobility of Don Dayton, their quarterback. Dayton unable to really execute the option as a runner and more apt to pitch the ball.
King down near the goal line, and he's in.
I'll tell you, Brearley really splits you out. They are splitting the defense, and that's what opens that play up so well. Dayton would have been better off taking the inside gaps when they see those splits, because when they lined up that wide of a split, they open a natural hole.
The 5'10" junior James King scores his 4th touchdown of the year. Scuderi on for the extra point. Changeo will hold. And the line jumps once again. I wonder if the centers for Brearley are doing a little something with the ball. A little wrist movement, little something.
Well,
that's causing them to jump. In this case, Joe Balwerzak is the long snapper, or Bob Taylor Jr., who is the regular center. I wonder if they're doing something, because we've seen that line jump an awful lot.
Well, you can see right there, just beyond the official's head in the picture, and a little bit of movement. I think it's more sound than anything else, but Brearley now has an interesting position to decide whether or not they want to go for 2, because the ball is half the distance closer to the goal line. So it looks like they've requested that the ball be moved over to the hash mark, giving them wide field to the right. And now they'll run a play to go for 2.
Maselli and Battle lining up behind Dayton. Dayton pitches it to Battle, going to the wide side. Cuts back in, and he is in.
Battle got out there one-on-one, and he just brought everything to a halt and stepped to his left. Let's take a look right here.
Trivett got out there, Al, but he was able to cut inside of Clayton Trivett.
There's the pitch. We thought that there would be a pitch. Now watch this step right here. Boom, plant his right foot, come inside. So we said that Dayton is unable to really carry on the option. He pitched as we anticipated, and Battle just used his ability to get into the end zone. Stopped short and just waltzed into his left.
30-15. The score, Brearley on top.
Here's the touchdown. Look at the hole that was opened up by the split of that left side of the Brearley line. And they just took wide splits. Dayton did not take the gaps. And the play just went right off tackle on a dive. Huge hole.
Scuderi to kick off. Molman, Perez, and Wright back deep. Wright at the 11. Flag on the play as he gets across the 20-yard line.
It's going to be a clip
Blocking
ball.
from behind, number 64, return.
So that will push Dayton back even farther.
Let's take a look on the right of the screen for number 64, an illegal block right here. Change of direction by the back, and right there, just an accidental pop in the back, but that's illegal contact, 15-yard penalty.
That's 15-yard penalty, clip against the dogs.
High School Sports Report comes your way every Thursday evening with repeats on Friday and Saturday. As Rob Matola runs down the high school scene, and this week he'll have a little detail of this game in case you're just joining us. He'll tell you how we got to this point. Here's Bazidlo on 1st and 10, getting out near the 20-yard line, short of a first down. He'll also this week tell you what our football schedule is for next week. And the reason we're not sure is that we're not sure who will be playing next Saturday. It depends on the playoff pairings. The first round of the playoffs will be the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Any team that has advanced to the playoff round will have to move its traditional Thanksgiving Day game to next Saturday. But until the pairings are official, we won't know which games will be moved. Bazidlo, late pitch to Trivet. Trivet has a first down.
Five minutes and counting. Not a whole lot of time for Dayton to get 2 touchdowns up on the board. They're going to have to go to the air sooner or later. They're out of the shadow of the end zone. Just into the yellow zone, out of the red zone, out of the area where it's very dangerous to throw the ball because of the possibility of an interception for a touchdown. So we might see them open up a little more here.
Bazidlo to the air, intercepted by Layden. Chris Layden brings it to the 15-yard line.
Let's take a look. It's a sprint out. Looks back this side. A lot of pressure. Throw the ball under pressure, and Layden right there picks it off. We talked about them having to take a chance. I mean, they had to throw the ball. It was just unfortunate that they had pressure on the quarterback and threw the interception.
First interception of the year for Layden.
John Changeo in the game at quarterback, Matt.
New quarterback, the junior John Changeo comes in, replacing Don Deon. On the first play, it goes to James King, and he is dragged down from behind by Cervello.
Cervello defensively that time just strung it out, got himself in a position to make the stop. Kept them from turning the corner. Mike Cervello, the 6'1", 180-pound senior for the Dayton Bulldog defense.
Bringing out the 2nd and 6 for the Bears. Just under 4 minutes left to go.
King again ducks under a tackler, short of the first down.
Neil Lynch, number 83, came across and tripped him up.
Third and 4.
Third and a long 4. Changeo at quarterback. Brearley hasn't missed a beat. They just kept running the ball, no matter who the quarterback is.
Well, this offense has been the offense that Bobby Taylor has used, the veer offense, the option offense, as it is Battle getting into the end zone. And they have been very successful over the years running it. And that running offense has put another touchdown on the board.
Battle breaks a couple of tackles here. Let's take a look. This is a great shot right here. Bang. Gets contact. Right there. Another tackle. Cuts inside, and there's another one. That third one was a little too late, but I'll tell you, Battle sniffs the goal line. He goes for it.
Second touchdown of the evening for Mike Battle, 128 yards. And Scuderi's extra point is good.
Scuderi's extra point, good. Bring the score 37-15. Favor the Bears.
Well, this game is going to end up being a lopsided victory for Brearley, barring some unforeseen miracle. But I'll tell you, it's not indicative of the kind of action we've seen from Dayton. Dayton did not lay down. on either side of the ball. They've played hard throughout the game and made it a battle up until that last quarter.
Yeah, well, it was a one-touchdown game until 6.5 minutes remained when King scored, and then following the interception, Battle getting in.
On Thanksgiving Day, here at Michael Avenue Field, game time, 10 a.m. We look forward to seeing all
3:07 remaining in the contest.
Some of the fans starting to leave the stadium.
Look forward to seeing all of you here on Thanksgiving morning.
Last game of the year for Dayton will be against Governor Livingston. Doesn't look like GL will make it back to the playoffs this year, so that is one game that will be played on Thanksgiving. Brearley scheduled to play Johnson at Johnson. And from our calculations, though they would be 7-1 at the cutoff, the Bears will not make the playoffs. Mulman brings the ball to the 25-yard line. They will be 7-1, but they will not make the playoffs, according to our calculations. New Providence has 46 points already. Butler has 45 1/4. Belvedere 44. The most that Brearley can get is 36. Cedar Grove has 35. Right now they are seeded 4th. The win here will give Brearley 36 points. That's the most they can get. That's assuming some of the teams that they've beaten already pick up a win here or there. The most they can get, though, with this win is 36. Cedar Grove, regardless of what they do, has 35. However, Cedar Grove is playing Mountain Lakes tomorrow. If Mountain Lakes wins, they'll finish with 37 points. If Cedar Grove wins, they'll finish with 44. So basically, there's no chance for Brearley. Even if that game ends in a tie, Cedar Grove will have more than what Brearley can attain.
So unfortunately for Brearley, with a 7-1 record, assuming they're winning today, and that's a pretty good bet, they still, because of the point system, having beaten teams that have poor records.
That's what happened.
Exactly.
Basically, they've beaten teams, with the exception of their victory over Roselle Park, they've beaten teams that have struggled this year. And so they will be one of those 7-1 teams on the outside looking in. And you know, there are many programs that would like to be 7-1. But when you're a Brearley club that wins a championship in 81, wins a championship in 85, wins a championship in 86, and in fact won a championship in 67. They were the Central Jersey champions that year. 7-1 and not in the playoffs, you know, just doesn't really get the job done. Not that Bobby Taylor has anything to be upset about, but I think if you talk to him and said, how do you feel, Coach? He said, hey, you know, we're a team that's used to being in the playoffs.
Well, they set that goal every year, that's for sure. They really do. At Brearley, they set the goal to be in the playoffs, and one loss could tear up that opportunity. And that's not the only team. We've seen Union had that same problem last year in Group 4.
Clayton Trivet running at quarterback in place of Bazidlo.
We're still in possession of this card game.
You know, talking about the point system for the playoffs, you know, a lot of these schedules are beyond the control of the coaches and the athletic directors. You're in a conference, and you're in a conference of teams of your size or smaller, and you beat those teams and have one loss, you can't make it to the playoffs.
Trivet picks up the first down. And the only exception or recognition of that fact done by the members schools of the NJSIAA, for they are the ones who approve the rules and regulations for playoff qualification, is that regardless of your strength of schedule, regardless of the conference you are in, if you finish unbeaten and untied, you are invited in. However, beyond that, one loss and becomes strictly down to PowerPoint.
Yep.
Even then, if you do finish unbeaten and untied, your position in the playoffs is based upon your PowerPoints, but you are assured a berth. Huber able to hold on to it and gets out of bounds for a short gain. 25 seconds left. So again, we invite you to tune into High School Sports Report Thursday evening at 7 o'clock to find out where Al Reynoso and I will be. There are a couple of games that do strike our fancy. Roselle, for instance, has made the playoffs, and so their Thanksgiving Day game against Roselle Park will have to be moved. That would be a game that we would certainly consider. There are a number of others. Union will be in the playoffs. They will play Linden. That's a long-time rivalry. Scotch Plains looks like they're in the playoffs. Their game against Summit will be moved. So there are a few to consider. Trivet, first down, gets to midfield. But again, Thursday on Sports Report, Rob will let you know what games we will be covering. And then, of course, on the Saturday after Thanksgiving and then the first week in December, we will have the state championships for you on TV3. We'll see whether or not Montclair can win the title in North 2 Group 4. They are currently our #1 ranked team. Union ranked 3rd in our poll, lying in wait, anxious to get back into the playoffs after not making it, as you mentioned now, last year. And Roselle, our #2 team, looking to successfully defend its championship that it won last year against the Madison Dodgers up at Madison. South River looking for yet another state championship. The Rams 4th. Exciting year of football this year on TV3.
Dayton has been running this option keeper with the quarterback.
Honestly, we thought we would see a little bit more of this ball game. We thought we would see a little bit more of Trivet running the option. Here he pitches to Huber, who gets out of bounds inside the 45, stopping the clock with 12 seconds. But Bazidlo, for the most part, was able to move the club, and so there was no reason to make the switch. But now with the game out of reach and no hope for the Bulldogs, John Ledun moves Trivet, the junior, from the running back spot to the quarterback position. Huber will let fly, and it is picked off. Intercepted by Bill Picone with 4 seconds left in the ball game. Picone, a sophomore, one of the reserve defenders, and is he happy, Al?
Varsity interception. Brearley had their second unit players in there, and Picone hanging out at the free safety spot. Saw the pass. I mean, they were playing prevent all the way. Those deep men were deep, and when they threw the ball, Picone jumped up there and got himself a varsity interception.
Varsity interception on what turns out to be the final play of this ball game. The final once again, Brearley 37, Dayton 15. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.
Up.
And this one?
Left.
And this one?
Left.
If a school screening or family history uncovers eye problems, or if your child has difficulty seeing objects, it's time for a thorough eye examination. A child's eye exam is simple and painless. First, your child looks at fixation targets, games, letters, or pictures to detect visual problem. The pupils are dilated with eye drops to check the back of the eyes. Most eye problems can be treated or corrected. Look up, look down, look towards the doggy, look towards the birdie. Very good. If no serious problems are found, he or she should be retested every second year. A child's eye problems can affect schoolwork as well as coordination. Untreated problems can lead to permanently impaired vision. Remember, take care of your child's most precious gift, eyesight.
Brearley moves to 7-1 with the victory this evening at Mizell Field as they win 37-15. Mike Battle with 2 touchdowns, and Mike, congratulations on your performance. Another great rushing evening for you, over 100 yards.
Thanks. I owe it all to the line and the whole team. You know, this is not a
a one-man organization. We work together around here. It's the way it always been.
No question about that. We talked about it on our broadcast. In that backfield, there are a lot of guys that Coach Taylor runs in and out, keeps your legs fresh.
Yeah, that's because we got a lot of talent. We put a lot of talent back there to get the job done.
7-1 on the season. Of course, you got one regular season game left. That'll be on Thanksgiving Day, it appears, because the playoffs, well, there's still a couple of things that have to take place, but this club wants to go out a winner. I know that.
Yeah, we want to go out a winner, but we want to go out a winner against Prov. That's who we want. We want New Providence. We worked all year to get to Prov. We got to get them back.
Well, you did your job tonight. You won this ball game, now 7-1. It's a wait-and-see situation for Brearley, and we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, well, we just got to wait and see. If they put us in, we want Prov. Prov, we're coming for you. Providence.
That's New Providence, of course. That nice talking. This club last year, 4-5. Second half of the season, a lot of the young guys got to play, but you didn't get a chance, and you were there helping the club during practice, running this scout team. Now you get your chance in this senior year, and you've taken advantage of it.
Yeah, it's made me real happy just to be on the field again. You know, no matter where the coaches were going to put me, just to be on the field was a big thrill for me. But I think the biggest thing, you know, was the family. Everyone stuck together. Everyone last year always backed me. You know, they kept trying to get me healthy, and then finally it came around, and now we're doing what we're doing.
Off to that 7-1 start for this year. Let's talk a little bit about this game, though, in particular. You hurt yourself late in the first half, and we were speculating as to whether or not you would return to play in the second half. I guess the ice and the therapy that was done at halftime did the job because you came back out.
Yeah, the coaches are real good at, you know, getting with injuries, and I don't like to be stereotyped as your average quarterback. I think I can play hurt, you know, rather well, so.
Well, you showed that you can play it hurt. You led the team in the second half, led the club to victory. Congratulations on the performance.
Thank you very much.
Don Dayton, one of the captains, and now Coach Bob Taylor steps in. And, Coach, congratulations on the victory. You know, after that first touchdown, Dayton sent a little bit of a wake-up call, but your club responded.
We knew Dayton would be a tough opponent. They're a regional district school, and John has done a great job with his offense. I thought they were very impressive tonight, and they did some things we have to give them a lot of credit for. They made us make some adjustments on the field, but I was very happy with our kids hung in there. Offensively, I thought we really held our poise and maintained ball control, which we like to do, and we've become a little bit explosive offensively, too, which we're happy for.
Well, a lot of legs you can run in there in that backfield spot, and that certainly helps things. And a good blend of youth and leadership, seniors and juniors combining, throw in a couple of sophomores, good mix.
Well, we're real pleased with the seniors. We think they've carried us, and it's been a lot of fun coaching this team. They're very coachable guys, and they work hard in practice, and they have a great focus. And they've got goals, and we're just hoping we get an opportunity to go finalize our goals this year.
Well, we congratulate you on the victory, and good luck in getting to the playoffs. You know, it's an outside situation, but I know you've done your job tonight, and now you have to see if someone else can help you out.
All we can do is do what we have to do on the field, man.
That's all you can control.
Okay.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. Bobby Taylor, the veteran of the Brearley Bears, and you know, it's you know, always nice to have the situation here at Brearley. The team joins us afterward. They command. They hold themselves well. It's a class operation, I guess is what I'm trying to say, Al. They don't run around going crazy. They're just quiet back there, and then they slowly fade off into the distance.
Yeah, it's the Brearley close. It's like a tradition. Whenever we see a Brearley team at the end, when they win, they come around. They're very orderly, and and it's part of an indication of the kind of program they have at Brearley. I mean, Bob Taylor talks about goals, he talks about focus, he talks about family. The kids say the same things when you talk to them. They talk about family, they talk about a team effort, they talk about their goals, the playoffs and things like that. And that's really what you have to do in high school, especially at a Group 1 or a Group 2 school where you have small numbers, and you have to have every athlete out there. If they believe in the program, and his kids believe in the program, you can be successful.
Successful they are this year, 7-1 with the victory this evening. The final score once again from Mizell Field, Brearley 37, Dayton 15. For the Dr. Al Reynoso, I'm Matt Laughlin. Thank you for joining us, and have a good night, everybody.